How's it going, guys? Harm's Way here. In this video, we are going to go over the best methods to sedate and sample each animal and all the habitat types. This will be especially useful if you plan to complete the Harriet Award, which requires 20 samples of each habitat type. I will be walking you through my tried and true strategies and lessons I've learned along the way. So as you can see here, these are the awards I'm talking about. There is 5 total of them. We're not going to be touching on the legendary samples. That's going to be a later video. So let's get right into it. I will be covering each habitat type in detail, but before I do that, I wanted to share with you a strategy I found very helpful. This is the list of animals to constantly keep an eye out for and sample immediately when you see, as many of these animals don't generally have a preferred spawn area, but you see them fairly often scattered around the map. This will make your overall process for maxing out samples much quicker. The first habitat type is Farmland. We will be heading to this location at Carmody Dell and sampling the Florida Cracker Cow, Angus Bull, Hereford Bull, Devon Bull, Angus Ox, and Devon Ox. You'll want to farm these animals until you're maxed out in the inventory, and this will ensure the most efficiency possible. If the bull or ox you're looking for isn't spawning, simply ride away like I am to this spot, and then you're going to want to ride back to this spot, look through your scope, and then you'll be able to see if it's the one that you need. And if not, simply just repeat those steps until you get the one you want. As you can see, the bull changed here. Next up is the Old Spot Pig, Berkshire Pig, and Big China Pig. Simply head here to Flatneck Station, and it's going to be a very similar process to the previous one. Just go ahead and sedate and sample as many pigs as you can find. And then when it gets to that point where you're looking for a specific breed, simply just ride away about right here. Wait a couple seconds, ride back until all 3 of your pig samples are full. If you're having trouble finding any animal spawns, go ahead and get yourself a solo lobby or start a mission, and that'll throw you in your session by yourself too. Next up is merino sheep. This one's pretty straightforward. Just head to Emerald Ranch and there's going to be tons of them. And then here we have the alpine goat. Head to this location. Go ahead and sedate and sample all of them that you see. And then you're going to ride away to the spot that I have listed in the video. Ride back and then keep repeating that until you're full. Next on the list, we have desert habitats. The primary focus of this section will be searching for the black-tailed rattlesnake because it's the hardest to find. But in that process, we will be sedating and sampling the vast amount of all of the other animals here that are listed. So I'm just marking a nice little route that I found that worked for me here. So put a marker there, and then you basically just ride back and forth. And there should be a helpful amount of black-tailed rattlesnake spawns, and then in between just shoot whatever desert animal that you see, sample, and then continue doing that until you're full. So the reason I'm on a trader wagon here is basically just to lock in a solo lobby, which I touched on one of my previous videos, but there's tons of ways to make a solo lobby. The only thing you have to be careful is if we're looking for a predator item that includes snakes, so like snakes, panthers, cougars, bears, you generally can't be in a mission with the exception of Harriet missions. So if you're looking for a predator like a snake, you're going to have to be in just a regular solo lobby, lock it in with a trader mission, and then go from there. Alright, next up on the list we got the Desert Bighorn Ram, Desert Bighorn Sheep, Sonoran Pronghorn. So just head to this location. I'm just going to go back and forth between the N and the E. It should give me what I need. So this is the best spot for the ram and the sheep. This is also a pretty good spot for the Sonoran Pronghorn if you don't already have those already. It seems they spawn out here a little bit more frequently. Last on the list for the desert items, except for the cougar, which I'll touch on in a second, this is going to be the Sierra Nevada ram, the Sierra Nevada sheep. So just taking in a nice little view here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. So I'm going to put a few markers here. And then it's going to be like the previous ones where you're just going to basically follow a simple route. You just go back and forth until you fill up on samples. So like I said before, technically the cougar is the last desert item. But we're actually going to be farming the cougar during the forest and river habitats. So stick around for that section of the video. Alright, next up we got the wetland habitats. This one probably is going to take you the longest for the sole reason that it includes the majority of the snakes and the panthers, which I personally think the panthers take the longest, but stick around, I'll explain how to get them. Alright, let's just get the easy ones out of the way. The alligators you can find really anywhere throughout the swamp, including the alligator snapping turtles. Alright, and now we're going to get into the panther and the Florida panther. So there's a couple good ways to do this, but basically you need to find them when it's nighttime. So there's a couple missions which I like to use, which basically allows me to exploit it permanently staying nighttime. The first one is the third infamous bounty here in the Saint Denis bounty board. You start that up and then it's just going to be nighttime. So head to this location here. There's going to be one spawn that's kind of in this northern section, and then one spawn that's going to be in this southern section. I like to just use slow and steady for my horse. If you activate it like I am here, it's going to eliminate your horse from bucking you off, which is very helpful. It doesn't kill you. So once you're done sedating an animal, the panther, go ahead and ride around this shack like this, and then, you know, go to the road. And then you're basically just going to follow this road all the way around. And then right back to the waypoints. The second way, and the more preferable way to do this for the panther, is to start up the legendary crossbox Harriet mission. And this actually doesn't have a timer on the mission at all, unlike the last one that I did. So you can do this as long as you want. But you also have to wait for that legendary crossbox mission to pop up. This is the third and last recommendation I'd make for the panther location. Mainly because there's only one location that can spawn. But on the other hand, there is quite a bit of the copperhead snakes down here, which can be difficult to find. But we will also get into that later in the video as well. So by later in the video, I mean right now. So this is going to be the southern and northern copperhead snake right here that I'm marking now. So to the south of the railroad tracks. And then To the north of the railroad tracks is going to be the rattlesnakes. So that's going to be the diamondback and the timber rattlesnake. And you should only really be farming these if this is the last item on your list. Like I said in the very beginning of the video, these are snakes that you should be looking for throughout your journey finding all of these samples. I also wanted to mention a really good northern copperhead snake location. So this is all the way up near Fort Brennan. This is just west of Van Horn. But as you can see in this video, the snakes they spawn all the way around this building. So in this video I actually found two that were almost right next to one another. Alright, so what we have here is a very good location for the Midland, Northern water snake, and the cottonmouth snake. So there's a little bit of strategy to this. Basically there's 3 snake spawns around this small little island here. What you want to do is spook the snake so it starts swimming to shore, and then you want it to be sedated in an area of water that you can actually walk in. You don't want to be swimming because it's just going to sink to the bottom. So once it's sedated, just go first person, and you're basically just going to be going in a circle like I am here. Just kind of going in a loop, tapping it, getting closer to shore, go around in a circle, tap it again. Just a small little tap is all it needs until it's close enough on shore where you can actually sample it. This is the second snake spawn location, and it's worth noting that all of these spawn locations are random. They're either going to be the northern, midland water snake or the cottonmouth. And this is the final snake spawn location. So basically after you sample this one, just complete the loop starting with the first snake that we did. And the last wetland sample is going to be the green iguana. This one's super easy. Just go to this main island here. Just basically completely loop it around. As you can see, there's 2 that spawned for me right here. Alright, we're moving on to the mountain and grassland habitat. This location in Big Valley will be for the American pronghorn buck, the pronghorn doe, deer, bull elk, and cow elk. By this point, you may already have a lot of these animals sampled, but this is a great spot for a variety of these animals. This spot will be for the Rocky Mountain bighorn ram and the Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep. Now the forest and river habitat. Moving on to the North American beaver. So it likes to spawn in these 2 spots right here. So this won't take you very long at all. Key thing to do here is prevent them from swimming out into the water. Just go ahead and swim your horse out to the water and shoot them heading towards the land. That way they can't swim out any further. And for the muskrat, there's a good chance that you already have this one full by now, but if you still need them, I found this is a pretty good spot. Just head back out to that island that we're at earlier in the video, and then they'll just be all over the shoreline here. Alright, for these animals, you're going to want to head up to Brandywine Drop. I highly recommend using the solo lobby method outlined in one of my videos. For this one, just head back and forth from these markers I've placed down here. And the primary objective for this one is to find the moose. So I like to just take my binoculars out here, the one with the eagle eye vision, and as you can see, there's a bull moose right there. So yeah, the primary objective is to go for the moose, but along the way you'll also find cougars and black bears as well. The cougars are generally only going to spawn at night, so just keep that in mind. Alright, moving on to the grizzly bear. So put down one marker here near where that shack is, and then you're going to want to kind of ride in this direction to this location right here. So basically just keep heading back and forth between those two markers to get the grizzly bear to spawn. So here's the first one, and here's the second spawn location too. I'll put it up on the map. So it's about right in between of the two markers. Now if you still need the cougar, this is the best route to go. Just kind of follow these markers here. There must have been some special sedatives in that last one, because this guy's kind of chilling out here. Just going on a walk with my cat. Alright, so that should about cover all the animals to go over. Now it's time to sell everything you have. So if you're like me, I like to just get 10 samples of each, and it was just quicker that way, and then go to Harriet, sell all the samples that you can. So something that does happen is once you sell a certain amount of items, it will give you this strange like cooldown kind of thing. It'll just say processing transaction for about 3 to 4 seconds like it does here.
This beautiful creature is not so different from you or me. Practically the same.
So basically when that happens, all you have to do is to just hit online through the pause menu and then join a new session.
Feels very different at this
And here I go getting 20 samples of each habitat type. So the legendary animals are going to be covered in another video, but I do plan on doing them. So remember, when you're selling each sample, you have to go into the catalog and actually trade it in. So that's how you get your stamp. And there I go. After many grueling hours, I finally got all 5 habitat types. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did find this video helpful, I would greatly appreciate liking and subscribing. And that covers it. If you have any additional questions or you have any sort of input, feel free to put it down in the comment section below. And I'll catch you next time.